Hey guys, welcome to the JW Untold Truth channel. So back in 2020, that was 100-year celebration for the Watchtower or the Jehovah Witnesses. Let's bring this little brochure up and let's have a look what they were saying back in the day in 1920. So here we've got the Sun and New York Herald, Saturday, March 20 of 1920. And it says millions now living will never die. And look, we got Judge Rutherford here. Quite funny fella there. Let's read a few paragraphs here just to see what they were talking about back in the day. In a free lecture in the Hippodrome next Sunday afternoon, it will be conclusively proven by men biblical prophecies which have been fulfilled during the past 4 years and from many other still in course of fulfillment. The hundreds of thousands now living in this city will never die. What a statement, isn't it? And the second paragraph says, in this instance, do not deceive yourself and Jehovah Witnesses into believing that where ignorance is bliss, this folly to be wise. Because life everlasting on this earth as a perfect human being would demand upon the individual knowledge and understanding of an acquiescence in the rules of conduct that are to govern the world in its reconstruction now in the progress and ever after. So we got Judge Rutherford here. Next Sunday, March 21st at 3 o'clock, New York Hippodrome. Seats are free, no collection, or invited. And at the bottom, if we zoom out, it says there a huge statement from Judge Rutherford. It says, I want the statement, millions now living will never die, to be taken literally. Literally. Did you hear that, Jehovah Witnesses? Literally. There's not, maybe there's a different kind of understanding. Maybe this is what we're understanding right now, or this is what we think it is. No, literally, this is to be taken, and it is in the light of recently fulfilled prophecy, a probable biblical proposition. J.F. Rutherford. So here we have it, guys. Millions now living will never die. And let's have a look at a little pamphlet here. International Bible Students Association, Royal Albert Hall, free lecture, Sunday, September the 12th. Millions now living will never die. Judge Rutherford. Again, seats are free. So we've got here another little pamphlet. It says here, Sunday services, the world has ended. Millions now living will never die. Free lecture by J.F. Rutherford, member New York City Bar, in order that the people of Boston may have an opportunity to consider his convincing and heart-cheering message, the International Bible Students have arranged for Mr. Rutherford to deliver his great free lecture to the public. Thousands of American sons have gone to the battlefield. May die there. Judge Rutherford's lecture gives conclusive proof. I like to see what kind of conclusive proof he gave of the future blessings for them, whether they die Christians or not. These messages will bring joy and comfort on every seat. Again, all seats are free. So this kind of reminds me of MLM businesses where they say, "Oh, come to my little presentation that I will be bringing out some products. You don't have to buy anything. Everything's for free. You're not obligated to buy anything, but then you are forced to buy that product." And even though Judge Rutherford here is saying seats are for free, but what is the intention behind these lectures? Let's have a look at these free lectures that the Judge Rutherford was given. What was the motive behind all these free seating, not donations? Well, let's have a look. Millions now living will never die. This is not a wild assertion. No, it isn't. Of course not. There are sound reasons to believe it. Wow, sounds reasons. I wonder what the Jehovah Witnesses will say nowadays. The Watchtower and Awake magazines regularly point to these Bible-based reasons. Send only $10 and you will receive both magazines, 4 copies a month for 1 year post-pay. Please send a year subscriptions for the Watchtower and Awake are enclosed $10 to the USA. Write to local Watchtower branch for more information. So that is the reason behind all these free lectures and not donations given, because they were promoting these magazines back in the day. So we can see that this organization runs like an MLM business, showing you the product for free. There's no donations, there is no fees to get in, but behind all these demonstrations there is something for you to buy, and you'll be pressed to get these subscriptions. So what is this Millions Now Living Will Never Die? So if we go back into the Watchtower in 1984, we'll have the Watchtower announcing Jehovah's Kingdom. 1914, the generation that will not pass away. So this is 1914, the generation that will not pass away. So they were talking about millions will never die because they were expecting this world to end before this generation will die as well. And what's happened to this generation? Well, let's have a look at them right now. They are all dead. So yes, millions will now living will never die. Well, unfortunately, most of them are all dead. That generation of the 1914 generation have passed away as well. So yes, a bit of history there. And I love the way how the Jehovah Witnesses or the governing body spins this out, because if we keep going, if we keep reading on the 2020 Watchtower Magazine, let's have a read here and see how they explain this, how they excused it. So, showing remarkable zeal. On March 21, 1920, Judge F. Rutherford, who at the time took the lead among the Bible students, spoke to the subject, million now living will never die. The Bible students left no stone unturned in their quest to invite interested ones to this event. They rented one of the largest theaters in New York City and distributed some 320,000 invitations. So do the maths here, guys. 120,000 invitations. This is what businesses do. When they send advertising, let's say 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 pamphlets out there, they're expecting a 10, 15 or 20% subscriptions. So for whatever they're selling, the same thing they do nowadays for the internet. They will send 300,000 pamphlets introducing the businesses, and they will expect at least 20% new customers. So here the Watchtower is doing the same bloody thing. 120,000 invitations. So 10% of that is 32,000, correct? 32,000 subscribers. That is $320,000 a year. Back in the day, that was a lot of money. So it's all businesses. But let's keep reading and see how they twist this millions now living will never die. How they excused it. The public responded beyond our expectations. An audience of over 5,000 filled the theater in capacity, and as many as 7,000 had to be turned away. The Watchtower called it one of the most successful meetings ever held by the International Bible Students. Oh, I wonder how many subscriptions they got on that day. The Bible students become well known for proclaiming that millions now living will never die. Well, they definitely were famous. Now they're like, shh, we said nothing. At the time, they did not understand that the kingdom message had to be proclaimed. Oh, this is the part that will excuse it. At the time, they did not know and they did not understand that the kingdom message had to be proclaimed more extensively. Still, the zeal was remarkable. This is how they excused it. You know, millions of people pay for this information, which came out wrong. And a lot of people changed their lives. A lot of people sacrificed their lives for blood transfusions or the vaccines back in the day. They did not accept vaccines and or organs transplants. They did not accept that either. So how many people would have died believing in these doctrines or this information, which at the end was all false? But they just said, oh, at the time they did not understand that the kingdom message had to be proclaimed more extensively. So all these people that they convinced, sorry, mate, we just we gotta go a bit longer. And why have they brought up now? Well, the overlapping generation. So these millions now living will never die might read millions now and later on will never die. Thanks for watching, and we'll see what we can find for the next video.